looking at the camera like a true professional, Harry. Not looking at my program monitor, but yeah, we're here.
Man, how you doing? I've missed you, buddy.
It's been a long time. You know, we did that TriCast back for the road to Rio, and, you know, I've been thinking about it ever since. It's been a while. And, you know, I really didn't know what to do with my off day, just kind of contemplate how to really do my own job, my own craft. But to say I miss you guys, that's not even close to the truth.
Well, Trace, I'm glad feelings are mutual here in the camp. We're ready to get on with this game, though. I don't know what you're doing on the desk, but Astralis are waiting around the corner now to take on Heroic. And boy, what a game this is going to be. Yugi in Astralis, and for this to all get announced today, Harry, how crazy. I woke up thinking we just see Glaive like normal, and no, a spanner in the works.
But yeah, I'm excited because, you know, I remember when S-Tag first got brought into a discussion around this team, right? And we kept asking, like, when are we going to get to see him? When are we going to get to see an extra man in the squad? Well, the answer is A, not S-Tag. B, it's today. That's when we get to see it. Yugi, of course, getting brought on in to fill that role. And, well, we don't have to wait long before we get into this one, Hugo. It's Train, it's Astralis, it's Yugi, it's Heroic. It's a lot of words. And this game's about to begin.
Yeah, baby. DreamHack Masters, day one and match one. It's what we've all been waiting for. And we're straight into the action, Harry. We're not waiting around. Heroic, T-side start on their map pick. It's Train. And with Astralis in the outer yard, only 3 here. Dupree's going to find a first kill. Device dinked on the inner bomb site, but that bomb is already get planted on outer. We still have Astralis stacked on the wrong site, where they try and deal with this lurk of testers. They are at least getting the kills on A, but the bomb's been planted, and the retake is on with no kit.
Oh, yikes. And Vitesse and Nico left in this 2-on-5. They are going to be hard-pressed to get back into it. Tessez, the only man remaining, and even then, it only lasts for a matter of seconds. Astralis, they're going to find themselves the pistol around here. They get this locked in. My voice is broken twice in one sentence, and they're going to go 1-0 up to begin trade.
Yeah, and Yugi with 2 kills, best player in Denmark. We all knew it, Harry. This isn't a surprise to anyone, but no, of course, it is so exciting to see this guy in this team, right? After a good bit of time, you know, in Heroic, for example, dropping off for a bit, reappearing in Heroic, going to North. This guy, I mean, this guy's been everywhere. He's been all over the scene, and so to finally see Yugi play in literally the best team in the world, the best team in this country, it's got to feel pretty good for Yugi, and the pressure is definitely on for him to perform as well. So let's see how he does. 1-0 lead for Astralis. Heroic, they're on a bit of an eco here into that B bomb site, playing off of the bonus provided by that bomb pod. And they're looking for another one inside as well. Zipex with the molly denies it early, calls for a rotation, and Device will be here to cover up. But with Outer being completely empty and silent right now, Astralis have no reason to be worried. They know Heroic are likely stacked up inside of B looking for this plant.
Yeah, so that'll be Heroic stacked up outside of B and probably looking for this plant. Hugo, if I had to guess, they might just hinge on your every word exactly in this round. They're setting up outside of the B bomb site, and well, there's this guy, name's Device, pretty cool dude. He's got this M4 looking to do some damage in through the smoke. It's actually going to be Zipex doing the bulk of it, and forget I even mentioned Device, because Zipex, there we go. He does get it eventually. 4 kills on the board for him. And Astralis, they get themselves that conversion. They deny a bomb plant at B, and they handle it all amicably. So they're feeling pretty good about that one, Hugo.
Yeah, and for good reason. But Heroic, no worry, right? Bomb plant and the pistol, and they saved extra as well, so they can buy up in the third, and full rifles for them as well. Astralis are still running essentially a bonus round with a couple of SMGs in play, and the AWP is delayed. I think for me, that's the big question, is who's main AWPing? Are we going to see Yugi given that gun, or is Device going to manhandle it away from him? I actually don't know. So, yeah, you know, even the question of, like, double AWP, like, how do Astralis want to use Yugi inside of this team? Where do they want to put him? And I think a lot of those questions, at least, are going to get answered today. And that's why I'm even happier that we have like a trained CT side to start, right? No better place to bring out multiple AWPs in this map. And Astralis, oh, we're waiting for that. Oh, that's a bad timing spot. Device looks upper. There are 2 players there, but he's just peeled off as Tessez clears the corner. So now it's not the bomb, but Heroic are looking to put a bit of a fake on this B bomb site. Device is going to spot it. He's about to rotate outer. Heroic are throwing their full utility and trying to retake main.
Oh, Tessez has gotten into B, and while all this is going on, Stown just still selling this this little fakeroo into the A bomb site. Now that he's slowed right down, actually, he's available to come in late on this flank. And Astralis, they don't even look like they're attempting this one. This is already the this is already the save, or at least it's meant to be. And, well, Stout is hunting down a couple of these guys, but that should be his kind of fragging journey coming to a close any moment now. Dupree should be able to get away with the MP9, but he'd probably like something a little bit better than that. There are some other weapons dropped about the place that he's going to try and retrieve. Heroic, though, they waste absolutely no time in getting their first round on the board here and now. Of course, the attempt at the bonus from Astralis, and Hugo, I have to agree with you, it did feel a little bit unfortunate there with Device's info peak and upper just being mistimed to actually spot the B play there. Could have been a very different round if they'd had just one more man at B, but that kill comes in at the site, they lose it, then they lose a man on the lurk from Stout, and that's it, the round's out the window. There's nothing you can do if you're Astralis. You're 3-on-5 out of the gate.
Yeah, Heroic, a nice little fake execute there, and they're going to reap the rewards of it. So 4 rifles once again, and Astralis have upgraded their bonus buy, so level playing field now into the 4th round of this map. Again, the solo in a play, and Heroic at least want to push Zipex back early, and that's a good way to just default if you're Heroic on this map. At bare minimum, force Zipex to an uncomfortable position, because that will allow a rotation from Astralis in towards B, and well, right now, that's not going to be the case. The disc has killed Borup, and right now, Astralis are very hungry, hankering for fights, pushing the perimeter. Dupree and the Pop Dog, he's going to get dropped onto, lots of damage, but Nico getting away with a kill. Astralis have the smoke down on Ivy, and a spam's going to hit Device down low. He returns the favor, but no one's come out well here for either side. Heroic are going to decide to leave that position and go back towards the B halls. 2 players above Pop about to drop. He just mows them down. Nice and easy stuff. That's going to leave Heroic in a real predicament. 2 players, very low health in a 2-on-4 against Astralis.
What Acadian and Stout even do now? 2-on-4, and both players very, very low on HP. They are looking really for any sort of mistake that Astralis are going to make. And for you keen listeners out there, you'll note that mistakes in Astralis aren't really 2 words that go hand in hand. So let's see if any are made. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. There's 20 seconds left. Time is also a problem for Heroic, so this is just going to be the save. Now, you know, with holding on to these 2 guns, they still have an investment coming in the future. They've still got another go at it. Thus far, it kind of feels like we have yet to see like a full back and forth round of Counter-Strike. Like, all of these rounds have just been decided based on the first few kills that have come in. So I kind of can't wait to see what Heroic or Astralis have planned for the mid-round, because right now it has just been, yeah, we won the opening fight, we win the round. And
yeah, on top of that as well, the 1 round Heroic won was a really nice fake execute, and you know, it forced Astralis out of it. They realized that they had, you know, the play was too good. They had to give it up. They had to play safe, and they couldn't retake it. I want to see another one of those from Heroic. How many intricate fakes, how many strategies, how many executes do they have out of the gate? It's been some time since we've seen this team, and of course with Hunden behind them, I mean, this is a really dangerous Heroic roster now. So yeah, let's see what they've got moving forward. Another rifle round, like you said, brought up around that save. It's a double setup with Device covering Yugi. The first open play, it's on Device. Good to see. Yugi gone very early. Device with an uncharacteristically missed shot, and that will leave his teammate in a very, well, dead situation. I mean, if Device doesn't hit the kill, Yugi is dead. So that's simply what's happened. Heroic have a man advantage. Device having to concede Ivy early and rerouting through Old Bomb instead. Astralis, in the meantime, look to take other areas of the map. And Pop Dog gets prodded, it gets poked. But you'll notice Heroic are grouping outside of B for an execute. A safe decision, knowing Astralis are likely to have only one in the outside, in the inside sight rather. And combined with the fact that they have a lurk up Ivy in the form of Stout, he can come in on a bit of a backstab.
Let's see what Stout can do here. And he's going to be a pretty important player as this push is coming in over here towards the B site. Device, he is going to turn heads there by opening up with the first kill. Zipex now taking a bit of a peek in as well. Doesn't see anyone the first time around, but now through the smoke, Borup does find himself getting deleted. While they are ready for a man wrapping in through Ivy, it's still Stout finding the kills. This actually leaves a 3-on-3, and this now has the added pressure of a lurk, spurring Astralis deeper into the bomb site. They're trying to pick up the pace. They're trying to close the distance here, because they know eventually Stan is going to be there behind enemy lines, but they've dealt with everyone in the front line, and that only leaves you with this one man. He's too far away. The round is over.
Some teams really mess that up, and I'm so glad to see Astralis don't. So many teams will either focus one individual player to deal with that lurk, which cuts down the amount of players you have retaking, or stop the entire retake to focus on the backline. But the issue is with playing like that, Stown can delay as long as he wants, and if his team aren't getting the contact, Stown's not going to move out of spawn. Astralis go, well, he's on his own. Let's just leave him. Let's kill everyone else. And they chase down Heroic on the site. They tap the bomb. They force a fight. They kill everyone. And then they go, well, the last dude is in the other side of the map. He's in our spawn. So let's just stick the defuse. Excellent round for Astralis. Not falling for any shenanigans from Heroic. Knowing that flank is coming through and just avoiding it as they should. 4-1 lead here on the CT side. It may be Heroic's pick, but Astralis are truly looking in control so far.
Man, that little, data tip. I can't even think of the word, mate. Data tip, that
Data
definitely
tip. Wow, what are you, a robot?
Yeah, man, just give him the old data tip. It's up on the screen. And it reminded me of something from like the original Xbox days. I was loving it. It was pretty cool. It said that Yugi gets 48, I think it was. I was too busy mesmerized by the data tip. But yeah, pretty cool, I guess. Here we go. Heroic coming in with this 5.
Yeah, we got a double AWP as well. Finally, the moment we've been waiting for. Yugi armed and dangerous with a scoped cannon. This CT side of train is certainly going to bode well for it. He's going to hit a bit of a tag. Tesla's low early. Magisk above the smoke. Not for long. Nico reads it. And Heroic can move very deep into the site. They've actually pressed Astralis all the way to the back. Dupree's the only guy still left in A. And with him going down after just one, it's left Astralis playing retake on a bomb site they initially had 4 at. This is a bit of a predicament. There's not much I can do about it. Hoping these AWPs can pop off in the post plant. Will Heroic give them the satisfaction?
Yeah, I mean, if there ever was a trial by fire for the double AWP setup here now on Astralis, it's this one. Yugi and Device, both with them, but they're looking to save. They're not looking to go for it. Still really feeling like I've yet to see this double AWP do anything. It's another one of these rounds where they've tried to bring it out, or they've tried to bring it in, rather, for the first time, and the round is just decided immediately on the back of the kills that Nico is able to grab on his fast A plays. So we're going to have to wait another round to see if this double AWP is all that effective, because in this one, it's already over, and it's already fallen in favor of Heroic.
Nice fast little execute there from Heroic. A switch up of pace is certainly the solution after a lot of slow rounds where they've just been playing off the back of 1 kill and grouping for an execute. This one's a little bit spicier, catches Astralis off guard, and now this double AWP definitely has to have their work cut out for them as Heroic have one of their own, Cadian, brought up into this round. Going to take it towards inner early alongside Nico, who is leading the charge. Zipex looks a little bit more keen to fight on the ramp this time. He's not moved away, not perturbed by the utility of Heroic and the clear footsteps that there are members above. In fact, there are a lot of members above. 4 here. With Borat playing late, he's throwing a flashbang, and Heroic, they expect to just hit this B bomb site, it seems. And again, with them being quiet on A, Astralis, what do? They rotate an AWP over.
But Device and Zipex have still got to have a pretty stellar hold here at B. And actually, as I say that, the bomb's going to start to go back. Suddenly, Heroic, they've decided that they don't really like what they've seen at B. They know that they might have drawn some rotations. Now, do be sure to keep our eye on Zipex. You can see that he's about to potentially aggress into these upper halls. Tessus is holding for the pop dog push. But if Zipex does indeed go aggressive, he will end up getting that information that these halls are clear again. But he's actually backed away from that position. And Heroic, now having left this B bomb site all the way back towards T-spawn, 30 seconds, setting up outside of A. It's going to fall to the likes of Dupree, Magisk, and Yugi to hold down the firing line.
Yeah, well, Dupree, the first of which, already finding Teslas above the pop dog. That's cut off this split for Heroic. They're all coming from T-corner. Magisk has just dropped the smoke in 20 seconds. Heroic, this is a save. There's nothing they can do. Astralis was set up perfectly for this, with a double pop dog player, plus a man on the E-box watching the side of Ivy. That was Yugi with the AWP. Heroic, they just walk into an aggressive setup for Astralis, and they're not ready for it. That's an unfortunate round for Heroic. I guess they group up in B early, but it's very clear by the utility of Astralis that they know Heroic are there, right? Xyp9x is throwing in Molotovs, he's cycling all his grenades, trying to make sure he can delay as long as possible, and he hasn't even seen anyone yet, so it's more of a read. And Heroic, they just try and go and clear out the area of the map they've lost, hoping that maybe they catch an Ivy push, a T-Con push, and as a result, Astralis, because of that aggression, will have stacked B, but it wasn't the case. They were just 3-2 split, and Heroic walk into the 3. That is going to leave Astralis taking another round, and Heroic again want to throw in a bit of a faster approach to this one.
Well, Yugi's just been deleted. Borup following up. Magisk is here now, like trying to save the day a bit, trying to kind of pick up team spirit in this round. And I'm of course talking about the team spirit of Astralis, not the CIS legends. Magisk down towards Ivy, keeping his eye on this location, while the rest of the gang now try and take a position to deal with main. Magisk, though, he's got his head on a swivel, and this man is looking like Owlboy here. He's flowing that head around. He's finding kills left and right, but finally, Stan will come in with the trade, and now it's Device, 1v2. Up in hand and falling back into the pop dog. He's looking for a means to this end of this round. Stan, eyes sharpened, looking into this A bomb site. Can't spot Device, and so Device is making pretty good time on this wrap round now. Does find himself over in main. And this slowdown from Heroic has given Device all the room he was hoping for. They don't know it. They've tried to play this together. They've tried to group up, but actually, this is exactly what Daddy Device wanted in this 1v2.
Yeah, and now time is going to be the problem. Heroic, they might be going B through CT. This is a great call. It's going to be the last place Device expects, but now they reroute on Old Bomb, and that's walking into the path that Device is on as well. He's about to get the info. They're not going to check it. That's the kill. 14 seconds. Trades out to the AK-47. The bomb on the ground, and Heroic need to get that plant in. Device has a spot, and he knows Stan's likely sticking it. Going to move closer and closer. On top of the train. Stan in the sight, and the jump for Device. Oh, he gets peaked mid-air, and Stan closes the round. Great work from Heroic. They actually do manage to shut down that 2-on-1 rather. It looks, if anything, favorable for Device at a point in time with that flank coming through, but it's going to be Stan saving this one. Dear, oh dear, close as they come. 3 rounds for Heroic though, and they're keeping things competitive, and now Astralis starting to lose a little bit of this money. You're going to have to go back to the solo AWP, so Yugi, I mean, he had 2 kills in the pistol round, we've not seen him do anything yet, but keeping our eyes on him. Don't you worry, we got a litmus test for Yugi. Figuring out his pH levels as we speak.
Oh, he's going to find himself getting mollied out of Ivy. And this actually opens up a potential way in for Heroic. He's still floating around. The bomb is outside of B, though. So these guys in Ivy are nothing more than a little distraction. And now, actually, on the back of seeing Device's AWP ring out over at the B bomb site, this might be a change of strategy from Heroic. However, it's brains meeting brawn down in Ivy, and Magisk has come out on top. Cadian on 1 point of health, and Magisk almost with a double. He has turned Heroic away from this A bomb site. They're still sticking around. They're still looking like they want to go for it. But with 3 players here for Astralis, Magisk getting aggressive. Cadian, this should be the end of him, and it is. Cadian has been removed. Borup, Tesses, 2v5 now. You're asking a lot. They're not able to deliver. Borup left all alone. Does at least have himself this bomb, but yikes, man. Didn't even hear the shot from Device. That's how stealthy he was. 6 on the board for Astralis. Once again, it's Magisk from Old Hell, just laying down the pain. Even goes aggressive back into Ivy to chase that kill down. Magisk is looking real good right now. You know, he heard the term in-game leader throwing around, but he's interpreted it as leading in-game, which is very much what he's doing right now. 11-3,
yeah, top
in the charts.
I mean, without his pesky IGL telling him, Magisk, you can't push this.
Magisk,
no,
don't go Old Hell. You're going to die. They're coming from both main and Ivy. Don't play there. And Magisk, you know, he's loving it right now. Clave's sat at home, not telling him what to do, and he's got all this freedom. Look at him go.
Yeah, Astralis in control, but it is still back and forth, right? This game has been actually fairly exciting to start, right? The scoreline may not look good for Heroic, but on the T side of the train, this is a good track record so far. They should be happy with this, but again, looking to build. Probably won't be getting a lot done in this round. It's an eco, and with armor behind some of these pistols, they might want to just charge into B, look for this bomb plant. Pretty common occurrence in these low-buy rounds. Astralis are playing 4 outside, and with no rotate player either, Device was pushed up towards Ivy, so he's got a bit of a longer route, but he has begun said route and moved that AWP over towards B. Every time Heroic have come B, Device has been here, so he's been very, very good at knowing when to come in through this connector, when to assist Zipex inside of B. And I mean, to be fair, it has been pretty obvious, right? When Heroic are going B, they're silent on A. So right now, they're just going to walk into the firing line. Device fires off his AWP. Zipix waiting in the middle of the bomb train. Should be able to deny the plant as well, but he's looking to take kills before that. Dropping down, the Deagle pushed up. Borup has found Device. There's another AWP coming through connector. Yugi getting very tagged up. He's to be careful. Zipix will clean up the job instead. And Astralis should be able to save that secondary AWP as well. So 7-3. The ecos made quick work of. No bomb plant for Heroic. And that was kind of a must-have. You can see their money is pretty whack. They would be eco anyway, but and now definitely not buying. So it's going to be Astralis leading a little better.
Stound's gotten very, very deep on A, and Yugi is not aware of this whatsoever. He's not even taking it into account. Oh dear, Dupree doesn't know. As far as he's aware, Yugi has been holding main. Stound is just an unknown entity right now out in this A bomb site, and he's only armed with a P250, and I think he's worried that they know where he is, but they really don't. Yugi has got absolutely no idea.
Ooh,
Oh no!
Dupree.
He's one pass. They missed each other. Dupree, he's behind you. Dupree, I'm talking to you now, my friend. He's behind you. Oh my goodness, how has this happened?
What if Yugi makes noise? If he scopes, he's dead, and he has no idea.
How has he done this? He doesn't even know he's done this.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know. They don't know. No one knows. I don't really know how this is even.
And here's the issue, Harry. The bomb's coming back. It's going to come back to spawn. They're going to go, guys, walk through T-Con. It's clear.
Dear.
It is not clear. Dupree is in enemy lines, not behind them, inside of them, and he's ready. He's waiting. Unless the bomb goes Ivy.
How's this happened? Glaive wouldn't have let this happen. This wouldn't have happened.
But this is perfect for Astralis.
This is great for Astralis now. Like, it started off looking like it was going to be a problem.
Oh,
but they're thinking Heroic, like, ha ha ha, main's clear. Yeah, we're going to... Oh, Stound does get Yugi, but Dupree on the main push, unsurprisingly, does get the rest. Yeah, a bit of an interesting one. Yugi's probably not very happy with how he just died.
Heroic are probably mad at Stound. They're like, Stound, how is he in main? You just came out Olaf. How's he there? I don't understand. But Stound's going to be very confused when he watches that demo back. He looks up. Dupree walks below him. Funny stuff. Astralis up to 8. That's a great round for them, but not one they can really repeat as they hold commanding lead. Double AWP. Continuing. Yugi hit some shots with it in that round as well as they feed the beast inside of main. Where do Heroic want to go now? They're fully armed and kitted in towards B. This is one of their last rifle rounds, right? Assuming they obviously aren't going to pick up any more, which is usually a safe assumption playing Astralis. Heroic are only going to have 2 buy rounds in this half, or 2 more. So scary stuff. They definitely need to put a dent in this one, and Astralis are actually allowing them to do so. For the first time on a B hit, Astralis don't rotate Device in time, so it's just Zipex here, playing very passive, looking to retake. Astralis are not going to be worried about this, but it will at least give Heroic that money they so desperately desire with the bomb plant.
That's the win in and of itself if you're lucky enough to be Heroic right now. They will get this bomb planted and now closing the distance. Device spamming this Tech 9. That's going to give his position away. And Testez continuing to go aggressive, actually runs out of ammo. Magisk and Dupree, they've put this back in a good situation for the Astralis side. 3v2 now. Orb's still up in the retake. That's going to be in the hands of Yugi, and he's going to have to be instrumental here in this retake, holding down these post plants. The molly burns out Borup, and now they know where Cadian resides, but Yugi not able to get the shot off, and now just taking the bomb. Cadian, he's on it! Cadian's spamming, and he just about gets him off. It's going to be Heroic getting a 4th round up on the board. Cadian wins out that 1v2. And it's close, but no cigar for Astralis.
Nice attempt from Yugi. I don't know how the hell that ends up going in the way of Heroic, right? They really dropped the ball with their aggressive play. you know, Tessa's running out of ammo, going towards CT. Nico gets aggressive, gets a kill. He tries to trade, but Astralis have already come out connector and jumped above the smoke at that point. Nico gets caught, and it all comes down to Cadian. He does put 4 on the board for Heroic, and as he draws Astralis' money into question, this has 2 results, right? Either Astralis sweep the half here, or Heroic have a really, really good T-side and like to get 6-7 rounds. That's looking possible with Astralis' money on edge. His grenade hits Cadian. Matches.
Oh,
Shooting.
no, not again.
Oh, no.
He couldn't even see. Magis, that's not fair. That's not fair, Magis. Come on, you can't do them like that. They're Danish as well. Heroic, 3 on 5 now on the back of Magis, just fully blind, mopping up the pop dog. And here comes Dupree to help out as well. This leaves Stown and Cadian 2 on 5 in the blink of an eye. Or in Magis' case, you didn't even get to blink. Your eyes are basically closed the whole time. Deary me, how are they going to recover this? Cadian over in main. The bomb is on the back of Stown, heading over towards this B site. Cadian's, you know, like teasing with the tip of the AWP a bit, trying to give it away. Dupree, very invested in keeping an eye on this, and he will catch Cadian. So yeah, this would be nuts if Stown does it. But I don't know if he's going to do it. 1v5 here required.
Here's the audio, here's the AWP falling back, that's something, and actually no one's watching the pop dog, so a bit of a free kill, but Magis comes from above, Stown kills him. Oh dear, messy one. Luckily, there's only 15 seconds left. Astralis looking to stop this bomb from getting planted. Zipnix doesn't want him to cross to the site. He's going to play at the back of the train, does spot him, and Stown, oh, he fakes it out. Zipnix just in the heads of his enemies, rent-free, doesn't even need to push, and even though he does, it doesn't matter. The grenade will finish the job, and even just spotting Zip at the back of the site did enough to win the round, right? Because Stown goes, oh, I can't plant, Zip will rush me, and he just has to fake it. And there we go, Astralis, they close it out with a grenade. Yugi's had 2 grenade kills, 1 HE, 1 Molotov in this game. I have been keeping track, yes. Got laser precision eyes on that man. Seeing how he performs for his debut in Astralis. We're still, of course, waiting for S-Tag in Heroic as he is contracted until June, or July rather. So keep your eyes on that later as well. Heroic, though, fast play up Ivy. The pistols are out, and not for long. The Molotov will make quick work of them. It's a bit of a barbecue as Stown picks up a gun, but he's left again in another ace clutch situation.
Yeah, he was able to get it down to the wire last time, but this time around doesn't fare too well. Picks up the first 2 before getting traded by Device, and so Astralis up 10-4 at this point in time on Heroic's map pick, no less.
Magis is just looking so good today. Very free, very capable. 2-on-1 in opening duels, 5 multi-kill rounds, 14 frags. He's top of the board, 15 now rather. So that's what you like to see for Astralis as they look for this commanding first half. Heroic on their last round of the half, and they set 2 in towards B early. Does Zip want to make the move up pop dog? No. Going to keep things somewhat safe here for Astralis. Device is on B, but he's getting spammed. Oh, that's the first time Astralis have decided to put an AWP there. And Heroic, they believe it's too good to be true. They shoot the wall. They do a lot of damage to Device. And with this Ivy control being taken by Heroic, Yugi's watching onto it. So he knows that no one's committed. He knows that no one's gone backtracks, at least yet, for Heroic. And that is valuable information for Astralis on this B hit.
There's a lot of attention from Astralis over at this A-bomb site right now. They will rotate Zipex on back round, and he's dropped himself a smoke. Down at the ramp, Magisk actually aggressing into main. Strips one from the ranks of Heroic. Stown has gotten out through Ivy, but there should be a man keeping an eye on this. Actually, he's slipped by. Using that smoke, he's caught a timing past Yugi, and will end up taking care of a man at the A site. Now Dupree. Shut down as well. There's only 1 man alive over inside of B, and with his death, the bomb is now given over to Astralis. Down once again, asked to clutch here for Heroic in another undoable clutch round. It feels like 12 points of health to his name and a 1v3 to 5.
Yeah, Stown's had a great half, but he's been left in so many clutches, so many lurks and flanks that Astralis is just ready and waiting for, and they'll have no issue here and now. 11-4 at the end of the first half. Astralis in full control on Heroic's map pick. We're going for a break. We'll be back with the second half in just a moment. Do stick around here for day 1 of DreamHack Masters Spring.
Well, Astralis 11-4 at the end of the first half of play, and those Betway odds paint a pretty grim picture indeed. And I think justifiably so. This is Heroic's map pick. This is Astralis playing with Yugi in the seat, and somehow, some way, they're finding themselves in a very, very big lead right here over on the T side now, as they look to try and continue this rip-roaring affair moving into the second half. Cadian set up over here in Pop Dog. There are players up above him. Astralis going to throw some what sounded like decoys down towards the Ivy side, also make a bit of noise, and now look to rejoin up with the rest of the guys outside of B. But there is still this double stack for Heroic, a fast rotation available from Cadian as well. They're going to be able to crunch down
five-man unit, and look at that rotate on the minimap. You can see Borup, he's begun his rotation, he's moved over. We have more than a heavy setup here on the inner site for Heroic and Astralis. Don't know what they're about to walk into, but let's see if they can figure it out. Let's see if they can piece together this puzzle as they go storming down ramp. Quick shot from Teslas takes the first kill, and Astralis, they've now figured it out. Not the full setup, not the full details and the grisly knowledge that Astralis are walking into a full setup. Plant coming through, but it will be denied, and now it is just down to one man. Yuki deep within the site, but he's past Heroic, and he's got a 180 into his own death. That's going to be around for Heroic. An important pistol picked up that could get them back into this game.
Yes, indeed. We get to see the replay of this stellar little sight hold from Heroic. Sweet. And now that pistol round locked in for the Heroic side. They're looking to right their wrongs and get back into this game. Well, no decision to force over on the Astralis side of things. It's only going to be pistols here. So this should be a bit of a freebie for Heroic. Little double drop down in the pop, and actually they do get a kill with it. The Glock on Zipex able to best Pested. This is a full Glock round from Astralis. They've landed a couple more dinks, but this is really where their good luck, their good time should run dry here.
Yes, indeed, Harry. Down on top of the little boxes there, finds Magisk, and just like that, it's a quick, clean round for Heroic. 4 alive once again. No issue for Heroic, but here's the buy. Here's what we've been waiting for. Astralis in their first rifle round of the half. You know, Yugi, we saw him slot in quite nicely into that CT side defense, right? Just sitting towards E-Box watching Ivy most of the time with that AWP. Now, where's he going to be on the T side? Where's he leading? Astralis have left the bomb. We did see that be a bit of a problem in the road to Rio, so hopefully someone goes and retrieves that. Magisk will. So, no issue right now for Astralis. Cross towards a pop field for Heroic. They take their spawns and no one can stop them. The AWP is on B, and Cadian, he's fired off a shot. The jiggle forces a bullet out, and this AWP will have to run all the way back now. It's still the only man on this inner site, but that might need to change soon here. And of course, Heroic don't have the info. They don't have the knowledge. They've heard nothing from Astralis in this round. But that, if anything, should also be a big sign as to where Astralis are. It's not convincing enough for Heroic, though, or at least not for Cadian, who trades positions going back towards Ivy. But luckily enough, Heroic do pull a double B rotation here. If Astralis go for a full standard execute, there will be a good hold. But Astralis are actually going to move out of this site, interestingly enough, and do exactly what Heroic did in one of those earlier T rounds, walk all the way back to T-Con, clear out the positions that may have been taken by aggressive CT players, and boy, have a bit positions been taken by aggressive CT players. Look at Cadian. He's in the essentially T-spawn, or has an angle towards it from Ivy, and Astralis don't have an AWP to combat this, but the timing, the dreaded timing, it bites once again. Heroic, stacked inner, don't know what is about to come down.
It's down even looking like he's considering this main aggression, and oh dear, Cadian is just fully committed to the B-side rotation through connector. Now he's still going to be available to swing back and forth between the sites, and as this utility comes on over, he finds himself back inside of A. Sound trying to hold close to main. Will put up one onto Yugi. Trades going left and right, but Cadian not going down without a fight, and that's exactly what he's going to get. 7 seconds. Time is the problem. Zipek's going to get this bomb down. They're trying to deny it, and it's not planted for Astralis. Barup comes in and finishes things off. Heroic, they put themselves as 7th up on the board. They deny a bomb plant to Astralis. They keep themselves in the driver's seat in this second half. And I think this is where, you know, if you're Heroic, if you're looking for anywhere to be bringing the heat, it's right here, right now. I think, you know, if you're approaching this game and you're Astralis, obviously having lost Glaive, I think T-side is where you're going to start to see, you know, it can start to feel like you're running into a brick wall. And that's where you need an in-depth strat book if you're Astralis, right?
Yeah, and the big question is how is that leading going, right? Obviously, Zonic is allowed to communicate with his team being online. And so, you know, I imagine he's having a decent bit of input in terms of the in-game leading. Mentions that Magist may be doing some of the talking as well inside this team. So I'm excited to see, you know, where that goes, at least for the short term, for the next 3 months, as Glaive has stood down. And whether that has, you know, a really bad impact on Astralis, right? Like, obviously, with things continuing online in the current climate, I think that's good. It's a good time for Glaive to step down of all times, right? Because it means Sonic can contribute. And hopefully that means, you know, Astralis can still continue to be a dominant force. But this is going to be the test here. Heroic starting to come alive, starting to pull things back. Do Astralis still have it in them?
Oh, well, a fast play down through Ivy. This has gotten them close with the pistols. However, the utility has kept them in place. The Molotovs has frozen this Ivy push, and Sound removing them through the smoke. Deary me, they're not getting anywhere near this A-bomb site. Not with these AWPs in play. Pretty much all the kills in this round coming on the back of them. An 8th now on the board for Heroic, and they are slowly but surely grinding their way back into this game, back into this map. Obviously, just a pissed around for Astralis, but a flawless one from the Heroic side. They're going to be feeling very, very good about that. All back out in the hands of Device, rifles across the board for everyone else. And this is what we're going to see if Astralis running it back again can give it a better go here in round 20.
Far more spread default, at least in this round, right? It's not just Astralis grouping 5 towards the inner, so let's see the game plan. I imagine it's going to be a bit of a longer round here for Astralis. That's if it's allowed. Borup, very aggressive. Pushed up inside of T-Con. Dupree's watching for this exact play, but he can't clear this corner without being risked to die against this AWP of Cadian. Remember, there are 2 AWPs in play in this round for Heroic, and Astralis do have one on Device as well, but he's in a B, at least in the halls, so Stone has his second AWP over on that B site there to battle Device. Very heavy T-Con setup with 3 players close for Heroic. With an Ivy smoke coming down from Yugi, they're going to have to peel some players away. Tessus looks elsewhere and tries to deal with that with a Molotov, but this is just all a bit of a ruse here for Astralis, who want to hit that inside site. Remember the AWP, it's still here. Nico close in the bomb train as well. A Molotov timed well into the feet of Astralis, but they're going to go as soon as it fades.
Here they go, Down opening up, but there's the equalizer, comes from a man named Dupree, and that's going to open up a route into this B-bomb site. However, Tessa's dealing with Yugi. Trying to come in on this lurk, now leaves Astralis in a 3-on-4. Luckily enough, because Heroic did take some time out of their day to prioritize dealing with Yugi, it does give Astralis a little bit more time to get set up in these post plants, and the well-timed utility, these Molotovs, have bought even more time, whittled even more time away off of this clock now. Device taking matters into his own hands, swings on the peak. Ooh, looking for another. And Device pinned down inside of the site. 2 players fall, leaving it onto Zipex. But if one man could get you believing for Astralis, it might be this one. They're on the bomb. Zipex does damage, and he's going to take down all 3. Zipex with a stellar clutch. And this is why we talk about this man in such high regard. So dependable in these situations. The 12th on the board for Astralis. And this man just knowing no bounds, knowing, you know, there's just no stopping him.
Borup's just spinning, Harry. He's just circling on that bomb, 180 to 180, mousepad to mousepad, and somehow he still gets taken off of it. Great spray from Zipex, always consistent with finding players in the smoke, something that can be so difficult. Even if you know where the bomb's planted, you can reach that bomb from anywhere in its 360 radius. So, you know, I think Son put out a really good tweet recently for Gen G talking about how, you know, you can spin on the bomb from considerably far away, and how that's a bit of a problem in CSGO right now. Well, Borup tries it, and Zipex doesn't let him get away with it. So a clutch for Astralis that will put their first T round on the board. That was 4 in a row for Heroic on the CT side before Astralis would break the streak, break the curse. But can they continue here, or will it be a one and done?
Well, it kind of needs to continue immediately for Heroic. That's the one downside of such a one-sided first half for Astralis. And Cadian, luckily enough, he's not really in the business of slowing down, is this guy. He's opened up with a man advantage now for the Heroic side. And sat comfortably in a 5-on-4, knowing the pressure is now residing with Astralis to try and recuperate this man advantage. Cadian's going to keep on holding this aggressive line into Maid. They do manage to get Yugi into the front line all alone. What's he able to do from here? He's very much pinned on in. One by one, Astralis get picked apart in that round there. A 9th on the board for Heroic, and a flawless one at that.
Heroic using similar setups to some of the ones Astralis used on the CT side, right? Running that double pop, or at least, you know, a bait pop with support from the E-box, with Orps holding close T-con. It's some nice setups from Heroic. They've been reading this well. They know where Astralis are coming from, and that, you know, is so important on Train, a map where T's can really deny that information by just walking everywhere in towards B. You don't have to run above those walls and let the CTs close pop here where you go. And Astralis, well, no tricks in this round, just pistols. Quick one as well. Heroic found 4 kills in the blink of an eye. Borup with a double pop, and Zipex no bomb, and really no chance. Might just run out into B and see what he can do. But Heroic, they should be ready for this. Even falling off of the train, but Nico's ready. And there it is. Bit of a dink. Got close, but no cigar for Zipex. And Heroic find double digits. So this game is truly competitive now. It's no longer an Astralis storming over a sleepy Heroic. The CT side has been put together in good form.
Yeah, it's really starting to take shape, isn't it? And you can feel them getting back into the swing of things. Everyone's looking more confident right now on the Heroic side. Device tries to line up this wall bang there. Doesn't find anything on the back of it. Early on, it's going to be Zipex, Dupree, and Device all slowly and silently walking over towards this B site of play. As we just saw there, Yugi, the one man who's kind of differentiating from that plan, he finds himself in Ivy. So Astralis, they've tried this strategy already, and it did have some pretty good results for them. This was the round that Zipex closed out in the 1v3, if you'll remember. Yugi coming in on this Ivy flank, 4 players into the B bomb site. Heroic, they'd almost rotated away. It looked like for a moment there, this little bit of utility that Yugi had thrown in had forced a full rotation, but they've gone back to B. Heroic have realized they've seen this one before. They know what Astralis have planned in this round. However, losing Nico early on at the B site does represent some problems, and it's a very aggressive post plant here for Dupree. Now, this is going to force Astralis to have to take aggressive positions. And with so many players still dedicated to the back line, it's a little bit risky. However, that kill there, certainly going to help out. You've removed the pressure coming from Pop Dog. You've taken a 5-on-3. At this point, Heroic, they probably just save, right? If it was a 4-on-5, maybe Tessez can find something, but him not able to do that has left him with no other choice.
That was a great change from Yugi in this round. Last time Astralis tried to run that same setup with Yugi faking Ivy, he committed to the take, and he was the first to die in the round because Heroic knew he was coming, they killed him, and then they rotated inner and dealt with Astralis there. This time, Yugi throws all his utility that keeps Heroic on that A-bomb site, but then he rotates safe through spawn and comes in towards T halls. he spots Tesla's come up pop, and instead of taking that fight, Yugi stops and hides in the toilets and makes the call for Zipex to come join him. Zipex walks up there, gets the kill, and Yugi never risks dying, and I think that's really smart. If you're Yugi in this position, you don't want to be taking every fight, you don't want to be looking to win every duel. Sometimes you just want to set up the best team in the world to do what they need to do, and Yugi getting that information and stalling Tesla's on the flank allowed Zipex to get the kill. That's an Astralis round, and that's them finding their second in the T half, done and dusted. Wow, Dupree, he's had enough, but so is Cadian. Response back with the AWP, and while Testis is dead, so is Dupree. Let's find a 4-on-4 early, though, that's going to favor Astralis in this round.
Well, trust a man like Zipex to play around in the pop dog smoke. What's he looking to do? The man of mischief. Set up in this position, and Borup did almost swing back in on a repeat. Now he's decided against it, and actually Heroic, they've grouped up heavily over at this B bomb site. I think this is because, once again, Yugi is back in this Ivy position and really making his presence known. Now, every single time he's done this, Astralis have gone for this B play on the back of it. In this round, maybe that's not looking to be the case. Zipex still just waiting in pop, the rest of the gang hiding in main. And I think there was a chance this A-split could have worked. However, with Heroic now clearing these upper halls, ready to come in on a pop dog flank, Zipex, his kind of timing here is everything. And Nico, oh, he gets up nice and close. He bides his time, and that's going to be 2 for 1 for the man in pop dog. Bear in mind, there wasn't just one player here, there was 2. The other one, Borup, he's all the way in T-spawn. He continued flanking. And Device, no idea, absolutely no idea that there's a man so deep. It's an 11th on the board for Heroic.
I've got to say, I can't think of a time I've ever seen someone playing Trigger Discipline behind Zipex, right? Like having a kill, but not taking it onto that dude. Like, that's got to be a good feeling for Heroic. Nice little read on the inner play. They know Astralis have gone quiet, but they're still putting enough pressure on A to warrant a B push, and Heroic, you know, the risk of those B pushes is a solo player going and dying, right? But with 2 players, a bare minimum, you should be able to trade. And if no one's there, like that round, Heroic, they have such a big flank down pop and T-spawn. So really nice round for them. Going to find another victory, keep Astralis on their toes. Every time Astralis have taken a T round, Heroic have responded in both cases. So not letting Astralis run away with this game, not even letting them, you know, warm up into this half, really. And this could still be a game that Heroic can take their map pick in right now, a bare minimum, because 5 rounds away from that very point, and full of streaks are Heroic. Full of money are Astralis. They've still bought up into this one. Device is back on the AWP. We've never seen Yugi take an AWP only over Device. He's only ever had the AWP with Device, so worth noting.
Yeah, I mean, something that Device said in that little, like, interview clip at the start of the day when he spoke about how they were feeling about having to compete with Yugi is he just kind of said, like, I think now we're really going to have to rely on our individuals and, like, our individual talent. And I feel like we are seeing Astralis go for, like, a lot more of these hero plays than we necessarily would. And it kind of feels like they've had to bank on that a little bit more. Now, that's expected, you know? I think that's why Device said it. Like... He was saying the whole time, I think the most important thing right now is to just be honest with ourselves and how we're going to have to play and how we're going to have to address these problems. So Astralis, this really is like a test of their on-the-fly problem solving. They get out an Ivy in this round, but they're kind of trapped here behind back green. This doesn't seem as advantageous as it might look. And there's the proof in the pudding. Very, very quickly emerging. Magisk and Yugi both drops down, gonna go through this smoke and drops Device. It's Zipex left alone in a 1v5.
I wouldn't want to take away a victory or even how many rounds Heroic are getting away from Heroic in this game, but I think one thing that is clear of this T side is it's showing how pivotal Glaive is in this position. I'm not saying Astralis are lost per se, but some slow rounds where they're getting picked up by Heroic, they're getting pushed, they're not getting the chance to really run their own execute, and Astralis get into their default, and then Heroic just disrupt it with CT aggression. That's been this entire round. Look at it, a smoke push from Stown, Borb gets into main, the Orbs have a field day. That's a great round for Heroic, and Astralis needs solutions, but they won't come with pistols, so only going to be another round win for Heroic, you would assume, with such low investment from Astralis. Although, talking of individual efforts, Harry and Deagles, well, they are certainly a good way to show off your individuals. Let's see if Astralis can get some picks here. They flash into the pop dog. There is a man on the receiving end. This Test is waiting, fully flashed, but with the smoke down, he doesn't need to worry about the tease. Device, meanwhile, has gotten a kill. He's actually pushed Ivy, and he's picked up an AWP as well onto Stout. He's been the top performer in Heroic so far, so this is a massive kill and a good bit of real estate taken from Device. They still need pop dog, though, and Tess is being a nuisance here.
I don't know, man. This is scary, though. Even with the AK, never mind. They try and Goomba stomp him. They fall on down, they land on the head, and Testes just tears it all apart. That is a slaughter.
Yeah, that's a weird one for Astralis, right? They throw the pop exit smoke, which you know, or molly rather, which lands on the retreat. If you're running away from pop, you're going to get burnt, or if you're playing in the back of pop, it's a problem. That leaves, therefore, Testes in two positions, outside of pop or right below the ladder. And Astralis, they don't even really check it. I mean, they look at it, but all three of them look at it as they come falling down into his gunfire. So, yeah, definitely needed to check that one. Astralis, though, not a huge worry. They've been left with guns again. Device on the AWP, but this is it. This is the swing round. If Astralis don't win this, Heroic are likely going to take their map pick away.
It's a very, very fast round, a real change of pace, and a change of pace is not going to change the results. Borup sends them packing. Testes in with another. It's Device and Zipex left up in a 2-on-4. They lose Device, and with his fall, they also lose the bomb. Zipex has got a foothold in B, but that tiny bit of movement, that tiny bit of running has given up his position. Testes has heard it, has called for players to keep an eye on the B bomb site as a result. Down is now holding down, the connector. Nico rotating in through CT. And for Zipex here, yeah, this is probably the end. They're holding, they're ready, they deal with him. 14 on the board for Heroic. This was a huge lead for Astralis at the end of the first half of play. They were set up, what, 11-4? And now it's all turned sour, Hugo. Heroic, since moving on to this CT side, they've not missed a beat. And that's kind of Astralis' worst nightmare, you know? You lose your IGL, and now you're expected to come up with all these solutions to the whole host of problems that Heroic have been causing.
Now it's a fast one to beat. Kaden, he could get overwhelmed here. This could be another ult for Astralis. A dangerous decision. And there it is. They've overwhelmed him. They run through the Molotov. Nico trying to stall from upper. They've given away his position, but he's actually got the bomb under control right now. Astralis are getting aggressive, but really they should be getting passive. They need this package back under their hand, and Nico doesn't want to make it easy. He's been spotted. He's been cornered. Device with that big kill, and now back in control are Astralis somehow in this round. They've got weaponry. They've got the bomb. They just need to get Stown out of oil. He's trying to push up. Molotov comes in. Oh, look at Device on the minimap, though. He's going back towards Pop Dog. He's going to A. Borup has spotted it. He knows, and he does take down a man on the receiving end, but Device has already got this bomb plant in, and with Yugi covering him with the AWP, this is a pitch-perfect round for Astralis. Yugi's missed his shot. He's left Device alone. 1-on-2 for all the marbles.
Oh, dear. Device now is asked to do it all. The man to plant the bomb now is to be the one to detonate it as well, and he's going to wrap over here. Hiding, biding his time, does drops down, and now just Borup to deal with. Device is going to answer the call. He wins out the 1v2, and he keeps Astralis in the game. 14-14 now.
Welcome to your first taste of Astralis, Yugi. You missed a shot in the 2-on-2. Don't you worry, Device will clutch it out for you. Oh, what an excellent round for him. And that's a great rotation for Astralis, right? To think that Nico had that bomb under control, to think Heroic were like 5-on-3 up in an anti-eco, or 4-on-3 up, and with control over the bomb, and Astralis still win that round. That's the most Astralis round I've ever seen. Despicable scenes. And finding 14, they are just on the edge. Whoever gets 2 in a row here will be taking the map pick of Heroic on DE Train, or overtime to start off DreamHack Masters. Hey, I wouldn't be against it. We've had quite the long series of Counter-Strike over these last couple of months, and well, hey, if that's what this game calls for, this Danish derby, I'm all for it.
look at this from Heroic. This is a real switch up. They haven't been going aggressive. They've just been biding their time. And this round, they sent 3 players over to B early on. They want to try and take a man advantage. They want to try and strip one away. But be sure to bear in mind that, sure, you've got one guy from Astralis here. Where are the rest of them? They're down here in Ivy. They are starting to push on out. Testes is going to block that smoke. Gives himself a little bit of room to peek into main, but find a kill for his troubles. Borup trying to rotate into CT to get a handle back on this Ivy position. Yugi getting caught on the wall there. Does still manage to get away. Man advantage lying with Heroic right now, and lots of presence in CT. If you just tuned in, you might think this is the start of the round. Well, no. It's been live for a while now, and this is where Heroic have been forced to as a result of this very aggressive ramp play early on in the round. Didn't give them the results they were hoping for, and as a result, they've conceded this A bomb site. So now they're set up to play retake here at A.
Yeah, Borup is playing so passive. No one wanted to peek into an AWP posted on that site. Heroic want to play retake, and so a smoke down gives them room to move, but they also could be walking into a trap. Yugi's here on top of the trains, and even just letting go of Crouch would give him the view to back Ivy. They're going to boost. He's not seen it. He's not spotted it. Yugi can't tell, and Kani's gotten 2 kills from atop the train. It's just Device in another clutch hit for Astralis. He has to close it out. A 1-on-3 for map point on Heroic's pick. 1-on-4 rather, even less likely, even less realistic, and knowing he needs to save this orb could just be in the back of his mind. Heroic, they've tapped the bomb. They haven't stuck it yet, but it will be coming through the second time around, and Device with no kills presented to him, he wants to save this orb. He can drop guns over as well. It's definitely worth it for Astralis, but that's a horrible call to have to make in such a, awful situation. A 1-on-4, and to think Kaden gets 2 off of that boost as well, even after Magis has already been killed. Do hate to see it for Astralis. They're going to call out their final pause here in round number 30. Overtime or bust, overtime or inferno. Heroic have certainly thrown a twist in this tale.
They really have, and now attack pause for Astralis and what could be their last here on train if this round does not go their way. I think it speaks volumes as well, the fact that they've had to use all of them on this Astralis side.
A rare sight.
It really is, especially in a matchup such as this. Borup, 25 effective flashes at halftime, but none since. I like that.
I mean, that's T-side, right? Like, he's doing a lot of entry work. He's, or at least, setting his team up for entry
those
work.
flashes over the top of T-roof, mate, they are just free stat pad flashes.
Exactly.
That's a good one for all you folks watching at home. Throw those flashes over T-roof. You'll get like 4 around.
Before your teammates have left yard, of course.
Or while they're out there, honestly. It's all about the stats. That's what we're playing for. That's the aim of the game. Also, I love this. Heroic, they called in attack pause immediately after Astralis. That is El Clasico. I absolutely love it. Astralis have just sat there for 30 seconds and really hashed out what they're going to do, how they're going to approach this round. Everyone's getting pumped. Everyone's starting to believe. And then Cadian and his bunch of boys just go, you know what, mate? We'll give it another 30. We'll let you just kind of mold over in this one.
Molly straight into main. Astralis giving no free room to move. The Dupree's gone out. The E-box smoke missed. It's not a problem. He's got a kill. He doesn't realize they're in Pop Dog. The Molly makes it look clear, but Testis is hiding behind it. Good play from Testis. Oh dear, the orb shot missed and be up, but that's giving Astralis a pick towards that inner sight, and they will not stop. They will just take every opportunity they've been given and go full on with it. Yugi, another entry kill, and Astralis have taken B, and a 4-on-2 overtime for our opening map is looking locked in, unless these 2 players on Heroic can stop it. Missed shot from Zipex. He's given his position away, but the Molotov buys him time, and this one looks impossible.
Oh, we're going to overtime, baby. First best of 3, first map, and we get it. It was a 4-11 half from Heroic. There should have been no way that this one ended up in OT, but Heroic, they grind their way. They reach map point first, and it's Astralis coming back with one final round at the very, very end to get us here. And now we run it back again. Astralis, they've still got some fight left in them. It's the 4 usual suspects stepping up in spades. Yugi not having the best of debuts here, 9 and 17 on the scoreboard. Only man in single digits in the server, but there's still time for him to recover. And I do think it's important to remember, you know, with Yugi, first chance, it's going to be a bit of a slow burner. But Cadian, not looking to burn slow. He's looking to go out with a bang, and he's opened this round up with that kill onto Magis.
Yeah, Heroic have got to be feeling good about OT, right? They're the ones who pulled this comeback. They're the ones in the favored side, and with the momentum in their favor as well. So 11 rounds in the second half, as Astralis found in their first. And Heroic with a man advantage into the bonus rounds. 3 smoke down on the ramp. That's going to stop Astralis in their tracks. They look like they wanted to hit B. Well, now they've got to pull the brakes for at least a moment. Could deal with a pop dog player, throw some utility that way, but it's not seeming to be the play just yet. They are going to actually change to the south side site. The bomb has remained in T-spawn on Yugi. Device with his AWP above Pop. Not the play to double drop here, I don't think. He's going to set up his teammate to take control, try and drop Tessus, who at the bare minimum has been finding kills in this position. Oh, that's a great drop though. Halfway through the spray, he takes some damage, but he does get the immediate headshot. Big kill for Zip. It's put Astralis in pole position now. And now, because of that kill, they don't even need to hit outer. They can just go B. And well, while they don't know that, Heroic have gambled with a double inner. This is a bit of a surprise. This is unorthodox from Heroic in a 4-on-4, and Astralis won't go for it. They're not going to commit. They're going to bail out again, keeping us on our toes and walking into this 2-man setup in the A side.
Oh, and that's a big kill to find if your name just so happens to be Device. Now, Cadian will reply with one of his own, still holding down the connector, but a missed shot has allowed this bomb into the site. Yugi trying to plug in those numbers, and he will get the bomb planted. Bora boosted up and over, and Yugi will find him in response. So it looks like it's going to be Astralis taking the first round here in overtime. Device is even hounding down Cadian, and he's heard the scope. Device is going to win that one out. He's on a tear.
Yeah. Device is coming alive in OT. That's what, you know, we've seen 1,000 times so far for Astralis, but at a moment so pivotal, really, because if they lose this map, you know, obviously it's still fine for the series. It's a BO3. We move to Inferno. But that wouldn't be the precedent Astralis want to set, right? You can say, yeah, we've got to be realistic, and like, yeah, we don't have our in-game leader, but I think Astralis still want to take every single win they can, especially this opening game versus Heroic. We'll see which Dane will win Train in these upcoming rounds. Dupree's pushed very fast in the yard. Yugi's lost the bomb, though. Tessus again gets value from this pop dog position, and he spots the legs as well. He knows they're coming down the ladder, or at least attempting to be, as Astralis also split T-Con.
Look at Down go, man. He's on a mission, and Cadian's even joined him. They've double flanked Ivy, but this has left him with like no one in A, and Device is keeping an eye on the wraparound. Now Tessa's still putting up numbers and still a threat, not quite able to best Zipex. And this is where Cadian, coming in late on this main flank as the second man, now has a lot of utility out of this position. They were ready for the first player. They were ready, forced down. But are they going to be ready for Cadian? He hears Zipex running overhead. He's holding for this peek back in. He's got the bomb outside of main. Dupree has cleared all the way through B, but this leaves him a long way away from this bomb. Cadian, the round is in his hands now. It's his for the taking, and Dupree has gone on quite the journey to get back to this A bomb site. Spots Cadian. Still has this bomb to retrieve in the grand scheme of things, and Dupree fighting, looking for the kill, is going to pick it up. 2 in the round for Dupree. He wins the 1v1 to put a 17th on the board for Astralis. 1 away from going flawless here in the T side of overtime.
Man, poor Tessus as well, right? He has such a big round in Pop Dog, dropping the bomb multiple times, doing so much damage to Zip, and then Dupree just throws a molly and pop, which forces Tessus up, and he just dies. He has his back turned, so all that round goes in vain for him. He's on 20. Astralis, they're looking for a similar number themselves, but Borum is going to make it easier said than done. He's found Dupree early on that quick T-con play, the molly hitting Dupree. And the bullets certainly will follow. Heroic take the advantage in this final round of OT. They'd love to at least put one on the board. This could certainly be it. Trades again come through, but just shows the bomb and Pop Dog. Astralis, they want this out of sight, and they won't be waiting around for it. Right now, Cadian's pushing B. He's going to have this info sooner rather than later, but Astralis are already out and about in the yard. Nico watching that cross. Styles drop the AWP. The bomb follows, and now Yugi in a 1-on-4 with the AWP posted on him. He hits a 98 damage thing through the wall onto Style, but it still won't be enough for this round.
Oh, but Yugi, he's got his weapon of choice in hand. He's been waiting all day to show us what he can bring to the table. Everyone watch this, because this is Yugi in his essence. This is it. This is the round. And another tag onto Cadian. Molly to follow up. Cadian gonna look to re-peek on the back of it. Now held back in Pop. Yugi, first kill on the board. Still 3 to find. 2 of them floating around this connector position. The other is Cadian and Pop Dog, and Yugi was aware of this. Starting to swing out. Does retrieve the bomb. Has time to play with as well. There's a player in heaven and there's a guy at hell. Now if Yugi deals with one of these, oh, is he going to be ready for the other? He's backing up into the man at hell, and Nico's going to solidify at the end of halftime here in OT. Heroic, they managed to get 1 on the board. It's 16 for them, 17 for Astralis. A nice attempt from Yugi in this 1v4.
I was believing, Harry. For a second, I was believing that. That 1D goes so quick, and that was the player that really should have been winning the round for Heroic, but regardless, it will still be their round. They close it out at the end of the day and put 1 in their first half of OT. Now they need a T-side like never before. Remember, regulations showed only 4 rounds for Heroic's T-side, so it's quite the feat for Astralis to find 2 in OT. They just need 2 more. Heroic need to go flawless, and Astralis, well, they're not going to let that happen, are they? Devices pushed up with the AWP. Cadian's tagged from Ivy. That's just putting down a bit of a fight, but he'll receive even more damage. Pop is free if Heroic wants it, but they don't know that yet. They've walked into the AWP, and Device has taken the first blood. Tessus gets no say into this action, as he's at least taken up the position, but Device is rotated all the way around with this AWP and swapped up with Zipex as well. Heroic, they're taking Ivy. They're looking to split this out of sight. And right now, Dupree's just pushed into Pop Dog. This could be problematic.
Oh, Magisk, he's got to nail this first shot. The smoke's gone down, not able to find anything on the timing. This is going to give a route through CT. Dupree catches a man falling despite being blind, and even then, Device as well, ringing out with another. Somehow, some way, Astralis, they just might take this one back in their favor. However, that kill from Borup propels Heroic into this 2-on-4, and it gives them a bit more of a fighting chance, a bit more wiggle room out in this A-bomb site. No one pressuring it from Astralis. The only kind of form of defense we've got is Yugi boosted up and an immediate repeak available from Dupree in the Pop Dog. And he'll swing out, catches not 1, but 2 of the players. That'll be both of the players, all of the players at this A-bomb site. 3 in the round for Dupree. And now map point for Astralis. They get us there in overtime, which, you know, very, very back and forth game. I didn't see Astralis, you know, once Heroic started getting it back in their favor. I don't know, man. It didn't feel like they were going to recover for a minute there. But now, since we've hit OT, everyone's been coming alive. They're back in the swing of things. And Heroic, they try and come in with a fast A play. It might be a fast play out of this map, though. They've lost a man early on. Testes runs the gauntlet and comes to regret it.
Device, he's been so good in overtime. He's really come alive, and now he's looking to close it out. Just 4 kills away from that very point. Heroic, a man down in this round. They do have the AWP, and Borup is pushed up. He's yet to be seen. This is a valuable position. He needs to look the right place, though, on top of the train, and he's got the kill. Magist down. Device is going to pivot on the site, though. He gets a spot. He won't get the shot. Borup given a second chance at life, but he's walking into another AWP. Neither one is safe. You've got to be careful if you're Borup. Device has been taken down. Dupree trades the AWP of Cadian. Still 1 left up in the hands of Yugi, but Dupree is still on the site as well. Good kill. Traded immediately. And now it's going to be down to a 2-on-2 with the bomb only just coming out of T-Con.
Borup and Sound. Such an important 2v2 to keep the dream alive, and Stown has fallen at the first hurdle. Borup now all alone. He does get that bomb planted, but that flash, that has ended him. His whole game comes to a close there. It's Astralis taking the W. 19 rounds, they get it done in overtime, and they managed to weather the storm over on Train. The map pick of Heroic, by the way. Inferno loaded up in the chamber next, Hugo. Astralis, they're able to bounce back, they're able to recover.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great game for Astralis, right? The fact that they can even drop the ball in the same map and still pick it up by the end of things, I think is the most impressive, right? Going down 11-4, heroic, you know, commiserations to them. They really put up a fight. But it's not going to be enough here in the first map. We go to Inferno as our second. Do join us for the break and the desk, of course, featuring this dude and a couple more analysts in just a moment.
But yes, you're gonna want 5G.
AT&T is building 5G on America's best network. Visit att.com to learn more.
I see you standing in front of me in the form of love. You pulled me in like your gravity, and it can't be stopped. Love me something perfection. All I want's your attention. Can you feel the connection? Oh, all I want's your affection. A chance to make an impression. That's all I want from you. Oh, I'd never be lonely if I had you by my side. Oh, I'd never be lonely if I had you day and night. The darkness is pulling me under. Can you lift me into the light? Oh, I'd never be lonely if I had you by my side, day and night. Oh, I'd never be lonely if I had you day and night. Can you keep me company when I'm on my own? You got a rare identity, and that's what I love. Love me something perfection. All I want's your attention. Can you feel the connection? Oh, all I want's your affection. A chance to make an impression. That's all I want from you. Oh, I'd never be lonely if I had you by my side. Oh, I'd never be lonely if I had you day and night. The darkness is pulling me under. Can you lift me into the light? Oh, I'd never be lonely if I had you by my side, day and night. Oh, I'd never be lonely if I had you day and night. Oh, I'll never be lonely if I had you by my side. Oh, I'll never be lonely if I had you day and night.
So this, being Counter-Strike, is also a game of two halves. Lo and behold, this game took more than two halves. We went to our first overtime on the first map of the first series of the tournament here of the DreamHack Masters Spring 2020. It does eventually go in the way of Astralis 1916, but of course there's going to be a lot of Danish talking points here. Welcome back, everybody. This is the place to be and the time to be at it. My name is Trace. Alongside me are Blett and Potter. We are ready to discuss some of the things that we just saw here in Yugi's grand opening with Astralis.
Yeah, I don't want to everyone's going to be looking at the scoreboard right now, right? Everyone's going to be, oh my God, Yugi, like first game, bottom fragging in the server and all of that. He did have a few moments where, a few shots he should have hit, but keeping that aside, I like what he did. He did try to fill in his role. He played his role, right? You saw the final clutch as well in that 1v2. That flashbanging through enabled Astypix to get the clutch. There were a couple of rounds as well where instead of taking the fights, he was finding information, gathering information, providing to his team, and it's also his first game in 4 months. It's his first game with Astralis, getting called in, I believe, in very short notice. And I'm still going to give him some time. I think he did his role. And in the end, Astralis won the map as well.
And not to mention, Magisk, right? He was just he just did not allow any of the heroic members to have any sort of quad control back on the outside yard towards that green train. Anytime the heroic members are trying to get some space towards Ivy or trying to work towards that T-Con, it was Magisk that just stopped them in their tracks. And so I think it was Magisk that really allowed Astralis to put those 11 rounds on the board early on in the first half. And if they weren't able to do that, then I think heroic steals away this train, Matt.
This was very close. Obviously, when it goes to overtime, that's one statement. But if you're looking at this game from the outside, this actually did get a little bit scrappier, I think, than a lot of people would have given it credit for. Now, for you out there that did pick heroic, how are you feeling now? And I'm looking directly at you, Christine.
I'm still feeling, I think this match was a given, right? I think it's a given that Astralis' CT side will remain strong no matter whether they're missing their in-game leader or not. Astralis are known for having their fundamentals, and I think it makes sense that on their T side, they were struggling a little bit to formulate a winning strategy, especially towards the end, especially when the rounds were getting closer and closer. That's when it gets nitty and gritty. That's when those pauses come into play. That's when Glaive's voice comes into play. So I think you can certainly see that they're missing that right now, but the individuals on Astralis just stepping up, allowing themselves to have chances no matter how dire these rounds look. That's what makes this Astralis team so special. So I think going into Inferno is still going to be along the same storylines, just the individuals in Magisk, in Dupree, in Device, giving Astralis just these easier round wins.
Well, let's go off of that right then. Blett, let's talk a little bit about what to look forward to on Inferno. What are you expecting? What are you forecasting?
I think it's more of the same. The one interesting thing is how when the op was getting picked up, it wasn't Yugi who is a pure opper who was getting the op first. It was Device getting the op first, and if they are going for the dual op setup, then Yugi picks it up. I also like how he's playing in the team. They're not leaving him alone on as a small side holder or just leaving him all by his lonesome to an extremity of the map. So it's pretty cool to see how they're trying to early on try and have him play in the middle of the pack, and they're giving him quite a bit of responsibility, and it's not necessarily an easy day in the office for him. So looking at Inferno, looking at how Astralis do like playing Inferno, I'm curious to see which slot he's going to fit into. Being a primary opper, they're going to have the dual op setup in place, especially in the CT side. Is he going to be the floating role, or is he going to be given the responsibility of, let's say, holding down towards a banana area?
I will say also, sorry, Trace, I have to add on the Yugi's responsibilities part on the Inferno. I believe he's going to be filling in the shoes of Glaive, which is towards that banana. And we know how amazing Glaive is with his utility usage, with that top banana control. So Yugi's got a lot on his shoulders. He cannot just rely on his AWP picks. Right. He's got to be able to back it up with the utility, to have the banana control, to set Zipniks up for some kills.
So what you're saying is you've got to grab onto the banana and you got to maintain control of it, which is what we're going to do as we go into this break. We do have another map coming your way. It's going to be that of Inferno. Heroic on one corner, Astralis in the other, and Yugi just trying to fit somewhere in between those two and make it look good. We'll be right back, everybody, with more DreamHack Master Spring when we return.
cloudy day, I learned to be with you. A desert that needs the rain. I'm counting the hours down till I can hold you again. My heart is heaven bound. Oh yeah. Like sun on a cloudy day, I learned to be with you. A desert that needs the rain. I'm counting the hours down till I can hold you again. My heart is heaven bound. Oh yeah. Baby, put your hands up.
Hello, we've come dressed as the backdrop behind us, and we're ready to bring you the second map in this series. Astralis, they've already managed to pick up Train, the map pick of Heroic. Now we're looking to the grounds of Inferno. And this new look Astralis squad with the little Yugi that could in it, looking pretty good right now to start the day.
Yeah, the setup's nice, right? Like a competitive first map. We have a really good CT side from Heroic. Obviously, one for Astralis goes without saying they win it. But yeah, Heroic, they pulled that game all the way back. So they've got some fight in them today. And I think that only bodes well for Inferno. It's going to be a tough battle for a team that currently has a 25% win rate on this map, but they have an even lower one on Train. So let's not hold the numbers against Heroic. But those Betway odds, they certainly do hold the numbers against Heroic. 7 to the 1.04 of Astralis. Well, certainly favored in this series are Astralis, moving to one of their better maps, if not their best. So let's see what they got in store for us. That banana device goes into the setup, and there are 3 men here. The grenade follows that kill, but Astralis are a little bit further back, and Yugi's actually going to manage to trade out for one. His teammate dies right after, and Yugi gets out of there with a bomb. The bomb getting seen in Banana will keep Heroic in this double B setup, and that's exactly what Astralis want as they go storming towards the A site.
Yes, indeed, Hugo. Nico gonna get Molotoved out of the pit and looking for these kills. However, he's been betrayed by his little tapping finger. Oh dear, Nico. Oh, he's giving it another go. He's managed to get the reload off. Really don't know how he stays alive so long. And now Yugi needs to ace it to find the pistol here for us.
Oh dear.
4 of the 5 kills needed coming from Yugi. But not quite enough. Heroic, they're going to grab the defuse. They're going to lock in the pistol out. And Borup's even rubbing a little bit of salt in the wound, which, sure, maybe has some antibacterial properties, but that's about it. Other than that, pretty painful, Hugo.
Yeah, wouldn't recommend that, Harry. That's not going to be the nicest way to start your day. But Yugi, well, he has a great round. He has some excellent entries and almost closes out the pistol with an ace clutch. That would have been a nice start. Certainly a debut, but it is denied. And Yugi's 4 kills go in vain. But they will at least give him a little money, Harry. And with that money, It's a big investment. AKs in the second, 3 of them for Astralis. Heroic still going to be full of utility, and throwing it down Banana has put Magis in quite the spot. He is burning, he's blind, and he's going to get broken through the smoke as well. That's an AK gifted over if Stown doesn't please. Of course, he doesn't know it's in play, so he doesn't want to drop his gun in the middle of a smoke, but Astralis will avoid it.
The grenade actually blew it back up towards top Banana, hilariously, so it's that much more retrievable. Or actually, wait, did it blow it down, Banana? I just saw the AK get blown away, and I think, yeah, it's found its way into the hands of Device. So, actually, wrong direction on that nade.
Oh, Yugi got cut off by the molly. He pushes, but Heroic actually timed their Molotov really well there, so he can't get traded, and that's left Astralis in this awkward man disadvantage situation. It will be a burn. Stown gets roasted in this round, but Dupree's now left with, or Device rather, left with no health and a 1-on-3. Not really going to be holding out for this one, are we? Ooh, he knows, and you don't want Device to know. Luckily, Nico's not giving him anything, an arm nor a leg, and a bit of damage, but Nico should back off after that tag, and with a flank in middle, Device is trapped. Oh, he could go B. Oh, yes.
Look at him go, the Device that could. 1v3, and Tessez, rather, is already here at the top of Banana. Device, will he be ready for a man tucked in this cubby? Because if he doesn't anticipate it, if he doesn't check it...
Oh, the classic.
Oh, he's got himself a little smoke here, though, and he's dropped that down. This is going to... Oh, yeah, a little bit anxious there. Swings into the gunfire.
Those bullets,
unsurprisingly, not where you want to find yourself, in the gunfire. Tessez is going to keep these AKs in play. He's trying to put one in the hand of his teammate at Banana. And so now, you know, if you're Heroic, not only do you get this conversion, you get 3 players upgraded onto AKs. You keep it pretty clean. You shut down that attempted force from Astralis, and you set yourself up brilliantly to get off to a good start here on Inferno.
Yeah, undoubtedly. And Astralis, they can't really fall by here. It would just dig them deeper in this hole, so it's going to have to be pistol armor, as Heroic likely take a 3-0 lead. But this shouldn't come as all too much of a surprise, right? This is a great map for Astralis, but we know Heroic certainly, you know, showed us something back on train, and that CT side is going to be where they feel comfortable. Cadian's crossed in the apps, but that was spotted by players in ult, so Zipex should be ready for a stairway push, but Cadian's beat him on the timing. That's so close. Zipex going round. He's going to check it, but not fully. And, I mean, can you blame him? Cadian is hit. An excellent timing, and he walked the entire way as well, so Zipex can't hear him. Luckily enough, kill going the way of Stown. Cadian doesn't take that frag in mid. He wants more. He wants a multi-kill, and he might get it as well. A resmoke needs to be found, but there's no one here to throw it, so Astralis are actually walking through mid. Cadian, he should spot them, but he might just miss the killing shot, the killing blow. Oh dear, this is not the gun for range, but luckily no armor. He gets away with 1, but that's not worth it at all. Yugi's going to trade. Luckily, Heroic is still in control of this round, and Dupree's been dropped up on the archway as well, so 1 by 1, these pistols should get ridded of this round, and the bomb dropped in middle. It's just Zipex left alone.
Yeah, I'm with a Tech-9 and a Dream here. Here's Mr. Zipex. And he has caught himself a timing into the B bomb site. This is a very interesting round because Stown had pushed all the way down ramp, and I don't think he's entirely realized the error of his ways. He heard the footsteps of Zipex going past, so he has already called for this rotation. But that's a bomb plant for Astralis, a bomb plant that they shouldn't have found, honestly. I don't really know how that one gets given away. Zipex just catches the most phenomenal timing up through Banana. And, you know, this is going to leave you with a fantastic first buy on the Astralis side. You get to have these AWPs in play if you would like.
Oh, you said that plural, Harry. Careful, mate. Careful. It's T-side Inferno.
No,
Let's slow this down.
Yeah. AWPs, just, you know, in general, as like a word, they could be here, but they're not going to be here. Astralis electing to just run rifles. And I was kind of curious, right? Like, with Yugi and Device both in the team, was there maybe going to be a more present AWP here on the T side, like more reoccurring? But no, I guess I get my answer pretty quickly. No is the answer.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not like Yugi's bringing such a level that Astralis are desperate for him. Like, we need Yugi to AWP. Like, Device is better, and that's why he's mainly AWPing over. So I don't think the frequency would change, apart from when we see the double AWP. But, ooh, that's quite a lineup. Tesses getting two, dropping off the cart side. He gets pushed back by the Molotov, but will remain inside of the site. And Astralis can't get this plant in with him here. So Device trying to come up long has been flashed off, and will have to use some utility to stay alive. Heroic are really trying to push that kill. Tesses is still here. The re-smoke's coming down for his team, and that's even better. It's brought him more time in the site, but it's making a lot of noise. The Molotov actually burns him out. That's a CT molly as well, landing in the smoke. Tess is firing off, but he wanted to buy so much more time there. He wanted to stay alive even longer, but couldn't really with everything that was going on, with the fact that Astralis knew he was there. They will eventually get that plant in. Some damage through the smoke traded by Device, and now Astralis trying to hold on to a 2-on-3.
They don't know just how many players actually lie alongside. Magisk is going to flash himself in over at short and starts to go aggressive.
Ooh.
Device now responsible for this entire long portion of the map, and Cadian, well, just pluck him from the round. Magisk, this is a hard spot to be in. They double peak at 2 different levels of elevation. That's a terrifying turn of phrase if you're a man like Magisk there in that 1v3. And so Heroic continuing to put up a strong CT side right now. 4-0. Another bomb plant for Astralis, combined with the loss bonus maxing on out there, does mean a buy is available here to Astralis once again. They're going to have these AKs out in full force. Still looking to bring the heat. Still looking to keep this one competitive. There is no ignoring that this is a good start from Heroic. And that it could continue in this fashion.
Yeah, this is certainly unexpected, but it's definitely well earned by Heroic. Third map of this series is Dust 2, and that's actually been one of the go-tos for this roster. So it's interesting to look at a world where we could even get there, but I am speaking very early. 4-0, Astralis taking their time on this T side, yet to get around though. Dupree looking for a kill in the boiler. We've got Astralis centered towards Banana with that bomb. But there's a triple B setup. Heroic are playing passive, and it's almost like they're welcoming Astralis, right? 3 inside of B, but no one fighting Banana is such a bait. And the fact that Tessus gets a kill on A as well, Dupree getting overwhelmed by a Molotov, that's going to send Astralis into this setup. Heroic may look like they have 2 here, but they've got 3 already. The first loss, down peaks out wide, he gets a double bomb drop. There's the trade from Zipex, but do they know? Are they ready? Borup is here. He's had a flash assist in the kill feed. That's information that Astralis will surely use to their advantage. They're going to be ready for a man here, and a Molotov will land, forcing him into the open. He's burning. They're watching for it, and Zipex, fully blinded, gets that kill. What a hero. To think that if Borup peaked earlier, he probably would have won that round straight up. Now it's still on the cards. Now it's still up in the air. Yugi in a clutch.
Oh, and he stuck the bomb. Nico rushes the smoke. 5 on the board for Heroic, continuing to go flawless here in the CT half of play. And for Astralis, it's seeming to be these T sides where the struggle lies again. And yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. You know, like when you think about it, I think in a CT side, you can just have someone like you. You can have the rest of the team just play in their spots, right? And the rotations kind of come very, very situationally. You're just kind of taking these paths between either site. T side, you know, that's where you're relying on things like these mid-round calls, these strategies that you fall back into that usually everyone's very comfortable in. You know, everyone kind of understands what's going on. And I imagine with Yugi being brought into the squad on such short notice, you know, for this event, that is where things get a little bit tricky for Astralis.
And that's the thing, you can say like, yeah, Zonic can help, Zonic can assist, he can offer calls at times, and that's definitely true, but the fact of the matter is, if you're not playing inside of the game, it can be hard to have the right feel. You know, even as an experienced coach like Zonic, I think it's definitely hard to have the same input than if you were Glaive and in the server and really feeling out how your opponents are playing. But regardless, you've got to make do with what you've got, and Astralis still have a map to their name in this series. They're looking for just a round in this one. Another fast-paced one towards the A site. It's Nico inside of the pit, hiding. Tessa is overwhelmed. Nico's still here, and they haven't cleared it out, but they should be ready for a second man. Short side, Yugi's jumped on his head, and Cadian is now cordoned out of the site by the utility. This is more like Astralis in this round, and Device is even pushing smokes just to make matters worse for Heroic. they might just need to save. Cadian's got low money on this AWP, and even hanging around is a bit of a risk. He's going to run. Xyp9x is hunting, though. Oh, dear. Xyp9x is hunting. Luckily, he's not going to peek ult mid. If he went bedroom, that would have been 2 kills for Xyp. Instead, it's likely Heroic getting away with a couple of guns, but most importantly, Astralis getting away with a round.
I think like an analogy for Yugi in this team right now is almost like how, you know, for some people, they'll only go to like one barber for ages because they just grow to trust that hairdresser.
Sure.
You know, he knows my hair, I know he can cut hair. And it's like, you know, all other barbers, mate, they can also cut hair. They're just as good, perhaps, maybe even better, but you know, you just trust your one guy because he knows your hair in particular.
Who's
well.
the barber in this analogy?
You know, Glave's like the barber.
But
no, I don't even know, man. Like, hang on. It's gotten a bit confusing because now you've asked me who the barber is. I don't know, man. It was just like a metaphor. And that's maybe... No, it's like Astralis or... I don't know, man.
This is why they think you the big bucks.
As I said it. Look, everyone kind of knows what I mean, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. In this round, Cadian tries to go aggressive down through mid and finds some damage onto Xyp9x. But, it's going to be Banana where Astralis look to end up right now. They've got a lot of players here. You know, we've been talking about barbers. Let's see if Magisk is in the haircutting business as well. He's got his AK over towards the top of B, and he's looking to get very close to those scalps indeed.
Astralis with a 5-man execute here. They're going in, and they're going in quick. Stound's going to spot. He hasn't seen the bomb, but he's got enough info that it looks like a commitment. Borup is hiding inside of the pit, and he's going to mow them down a little off the side and a little more off the top. It's going to be a chop here for Heroic as they mow down Astralis. Low HP on the remaining players. Now it's all on Xyp. He can't do anything. What a spray down from Stound, and Heroic only losing a single man. That was Borup in the pit after he found multiple kills. So definitely worth its weight in gold. Heroic instantly reset Astralis with a B hold. That wasn't even a triple setup either, right? You know, we've seen that stack towards B for Heroic in early rifle rounds, but here, just 2 members with SMGs, and they shut it down. So big round for Heroic. Astralis and money once again getting drawn back to nothing, and it's all on this round. Device with the AWP, Yugi with a Deagle, and a bunch of AKs hitting around.
Yeah, the bulk of Astralis are working top mid right now. This bomb actually is joining them as well later on. Magisk is left to hold on to Banana, left to his own devices, while the rest of Astralis try and secure this top mid control. And, well, try really is the operative word. Dupree runs out first and gets gunned down shortly thereafter. Play is just grinded to a hole. It is just, yeah, the momentum that they had is gone. They've lost a man early. They've not been able to recuperate it. Device hanging around in Boiler, and he's going to be the only man left at A for Astralis. They go back towards Banana. The bomb actually comes back to rejoin. That's Yugi lining up a smoke. That's going to get thrown over long side, and maybe that gives them a way to get out into the top a bit. Now, while all this is going on, 2 players for Astralis are at Banana, and they're making noise. They gave a couple of jumps there, and I figured they were going to be lining up utility, but they actually don't have much to work with. They decide to hold on to what they've got, because ultimately it does matter if they make it or not. They'll try and get into this A-bomb site. Nico down in the pit. Also, as Tess says here, it's a double setup in pit for Heroic. Borup in the bomb site has done enough anyway, and this round is over. It's Heroic with this A-side stack that comes in clutch. 7 on the board now to the 1 of Astralis.
Yeah, Stound's not even really needed there as the 4th player, right? He has the rotation, it's the right call, it's the right move, but it's his team that just mow Astralis down. And I feel like something that Astralis is struggling with in this T side, it was apparent back on train, it's these opening kills, right? We're not seeing any coming through for Astralis. Dupree, he runs mid, he dies, and Heroic somehow get a Molotov down in between that kill. I feel like Astralis need to definitely be trading frags like that. Like, if you've got someone playing heroically,